All right, so we're looking at calculating perimeter. You've read through and answered questions on calculating circumference of a circle. You've talked about pi. You've talked about the relationship between the diameter and the radius. Now they're going to give you either a diameter or radius, and you've got to calculate the circumference. Pay very close attention to whether they've given you diameter or radius. If they give you radius, you'll have to double that number to get diameter. So we'll work through these. The numbers that they give you might be different than the ones that they give me. So you'll use the same process, just with different numbers. I'm using the built-in calculator in my MacBook. You can get to it by pressing Command Space and typing calculator. Or you can go to your applications and open calculator. If your calculator looks like that, that's the basic view. You may have to go up to the top and switch to scientific view. You can also get there by pressing Command and the number 2, and that will open this up a little bit. You have to use a calculator that has this pi key. You cannot just use 3.14. If you are typing in the numbers manually, you have to use at least 3.14159. Otherwise, you're going to have rounding errors at the end, so your answers will be wrong. So easiest thing is just use a calculator that has pi built in. We'll go ahead and work through these examples. Again, know that the numbers that they give you are probably going to be different than the numbers they give me. So you'll still use the same process, but you'll use different numbers. All right, first one, it gives me diameter. So I'm going to do pi times 10. It tells me to round my answer to 2 decimal places. So after the decimal, I'm going to look 2 places. I have a 1. That's cool, but to figure out whether that's actually a 1 or a 2, I have to look at the 3rd decimal place. So this is a 5. To figure out if I need to round, I ask myself, is this 3rd digit 5 or greater? Obviously, yes, it is 5. If it's 5 or greater, that means that it rounds up, which is going to change the 2nd digit from a 1 to a 2. So my answer here is going to be 31.42. Next, they give me a radius of 2. So I'm going to clear everything out. The first thing I have to do is double that radius. So I'm going to do 3 times 2. That's 6. And then I'm going to multiply that times pi. Again, it wants me to round to 2 decimal places. So I've got to look after the decimal, 2 digits, 1, 2, figure out if this is actually a 4 or if it's going to be a 5 by looking at the 3rd digit. I have a 9. I ask myself, is 9 5 or greater? It's greater, so that bumps up, or that causes this 4 to bump up to a 5. So I have 18.85. One more, they give me a diameter of 12. Because it's diameter, I don't have to double it. So I just do 12 times pi. And that gives me 37.699. I have to round to 2 decimal places. So I'm going to look at the 3rd digit. Is that 5 or greater? Yes, it is. So that's going to cause the 2nd digit to bump up from 9 to 10. When that bumps up to 10, that actually causes the 6 to become a 7. So my answer here is 37.70. That's how you work through number 13.